Welcome to the Jones Equine YouTube channel. Today I am helping out the beginner Western riders with how to put a saddle on so that it stays in place, it doesn't make your horse's back sore, and so that you can get that hefty thing up there with the least amount of effort.
The most important part about putting the saddle blanket on is that you put it on the neck and back more forward than you would actually ride with it, so that you can slide it back in place so that
The hairs are facing the way that they grow once the saddle blanket is in place. You don't want to put it from behind and bring it up because that's going to fold those hairs and it can make them sore.
For the position on the saddle blanket, you want the vertical edge to be about in the middle of that horse's shoulder.
So next we're grabbing the saddle and we're going to put the saddle on hook. I like to get all of my cinches and everything situated before I throw it up there. So typically I will have my cinches clipped. There's a lot of saddles have a clip here that you can clip your cinches to. This one doesn't. So I'm just going to put it around the
Saddle horn. You want to prop your saddle on your hip, then you're going to use your right arm and grab the cantle
of your saddle. Then your left hand is going to go right here under on the gullet of your saddle. You're going to use your hip to swing your saddle up on your horse. Okay, you can see the stirrup there. When I'm using my hip, my stirrup is the line of travel for my saddle. So I'm aiming my stirrup across my horse's back when I swing it over there. This works if you're a little tiny person, got a big old heavy saddle, this will work for you. Okay, so we're gonna use your hip for that momentum, fling it up there on the horse, and then drop it nice in place there. Now you can see here that we're a little uneven, so before I strap things down, I'm going to make sure that my saddle blanket is nice and straight underneath of my saddle there. Okay, so straightening things out. I'm going to walk to the other side, make sure things are straight on this side. Okay, then I can drop my cinches, drop my breast collar, come back to the left side, and we're going to cinch everything up. Okay, you can take this stirrup so it's not in the way to flop it up here, but we're going to drop these latigos here. Okay, I like to run a hand underneath, grab that front cinch, okay, and run it through here. So you're going to take the tail, go through your ring towards the horse, back down. If you have a cinch like this one that has 2 rings and no pin, I would do the first couple of wraps on the bigger ring, and then your last wrap will be on this, if you can see here, the last wrap will be on the smaller ring on the inside. Okay, so then I'm just going to leave that hang for now until I get my second wrap in here on my second ring. Okay, so again, we're going to the big ring first. We're going to go up to the saddle ring, go in towards the horse. Okay, run it back down with your tail. Huck's a small guy, so I got to take a couple of wraps before I put it through the small ring. Okay, now this is my second, and I'm leaving, just so you know, I'm leaving things kind of loose here until I actually get to where I'm making my knot. Okay, now I'm going through that second ring because it's or the smaller ring because it's my last wrap. Okay, I'm going to leave that. I'm going to grab my back cinch here. Okay, make sure things aren't tangled on the other side. Okay, I like to go to the hole where it's touching their belly, and then I'll go one below that. Okay, now here when you're doing, and the reason why I leave this kind of loose initially is because horses that have been just ripped on and cinched down super tight, they're going to blow out their belly, and then you're going to have to tighten this all up in 4 or 5 steps anyways. So I like to leave things kind of loose so that my horses don't develop that defense mechanism from being tightened down too fast, too quick. So I'm going to literally do everything else that I can before I tighten down that cinch so that he has a chance to be like, okay, she's not going to just crank it down on me. Okay, so I'm doing my breast collar now. I wrapped it around the front. We're going to put it here on this ring. We also have rings up here. Huck is quite a bit smaller than our other horses. So, and I do this with my colts too that are really small. If your breast collar doesn't fit, you don't have a hole punch to make another punch, you can put it through your ring, then take another wrap, and then put it through. That'll help shorten things up for you. Really, you would want to get either a smaller breast collar or you would want to poke another hole in there. I have so many different size horses that I ride all the time that we just kind of use the same stuff and make adjustments as we go, because we've got a lot of horses that come through that are different sizes. And then you're going to take this and we're going to click it onto the ring underneath here on our front cinch. Okay, so now we're at the point where I can start tightening down the cinch and make the knots. So I'm going to take my left hand, I'm pulling up with my left and I'm pulling down with my right on that latigo. So the part that is in the wrap, pull up with your left. The tail, you're going to pull down with your right. I go to where I cannot pull up with one arm anymore. Okay, you don't need to cut your horse in half. Okay, so then I'm going to take one more, go through my D-ring. Then to make this knot, if you don't have a pin, to make this knot, you come out towards the hind end of your horse, fold across the front of your latigo here. Then you're going to take the tail, you're going to go back up through your D-ring. Okay, and you made this nice little loop here. You're going to drop the tail right through that loop. Okay, and then pull everything tight. I prefer this knot over using a pin because it's more adjustable. And like I said, I ride a bunch of different size horses, so that's, for me, it's easier that way. Okay, so same thing, as tight as I can get with my left arm pulling up, my right arm pulling down. That's as tight as I can get. If I can get some fingers back there, but I can't pull it out, that's tight enough. And then we're going to make another knot here. So I got to go in my D-ring towards the horse. Okay, I'm going to pull that tail back towards the hind end of my horse, come across the latigo wraps. Then this one's a little difficult because there's a lot of leather there. You put your tail back up through the ring. You're going to pull it, grab that tail and pull it. Okay, so now I've made my nice loop here. Okay, and now I'm going to take the tail of my latigo and I'm going to drop it through my loop. And that's going to make a nice secure knot to where those latigos in the cinch are not going to go anywhere. Okay. So now we're ready. I got everything done. This is my husband's saddle. I know he rode this last, so I'm going to adjust the stirrups because he's a lot taller than I am, longer legs. Okay, so I'm going to take these. If you don't know what length of stirrup you have until you get up there, an old trick that you can use to get a ballpark range of how long your stirrups need to be before you get up there and adjust it and test it out is you can take your fingertips, put it onto the seat of your saddle, pull the stirrups out, and it should reach your armpit with a straight arm. Okay, that's a good place to start. There are some people that have monkey arms and short legs, right? And so the proportions are gonna be a little off there, and you'll have to adjust. But that is a good starting point if it's a new saddle, it's a new horse, you don't know what your sizes are. That's a good place to start. Okay. I hope that you found this video of how to saddle a horse helpful. The next video to show you how to get on your horse and ride it is right over here. So if you have your horse saddled and ready to go and you are itching to go for a ride, take a look at this video.